Welcome back, everyone. Here we're going to do another Microsoft Excel tutorial. Today we're going to use the infamous VLOOKUP. Those who know what a VLOOKUP does, those who don't know how, we're going to get familiar with it. And the short answer is what it does is it matches data and brings data from other columns, spreadsheets, into the one that you're working with. So let me show you what that is. A very simple example, and hopefully it works for you when you try it at home. So here we have in columns A, B, C, there are three columns. A is ID, B is name, C says favorite color. So favorite color is empty, and that's the data set, the data that we want to populate. So what we're going to use is the VLOOKUP function on the name in column B against the reference data in columns F and G. So I'll explore as I explain, and hopefully we can get to a good point. So what we're going to do first is all formulas, of course, start with the equal sign. We'll start with that, and then we're going to type it out manually. VLOOKUP open parentheses. As you can see, Excel is pretty useful in that it starts to auto-populate, and then it brings up this formula help here. So the first argument is, what do you want to look up? And what we want to look up is in column B2. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to hit comma, and then it says table array. What that ultimately means is, where do you want to look for this data? So I have this reference data built in columns F and G, and what I want to build is a lookup to bring back the color. So if you look, column F and G is the data that we want to look up on, and there's two columns. And the first column is name, and the second column is color. So here we're going to put 2, comma, and then this is the logical input into the function. So true, false. You can type the word true, you can type the word false, but in Excel, true and false read as binaries. So 1 meaning true, 0 meaning false. What you can do here is put 0, because God forbid you watch me type, and then you close your parentheses, hit enter. And what you'll start to see now, John's favorite color is green. So if we go over here, we look at the reference data, and we see John in column F and green in column G. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drag this down using the little cube in the right hand corner until we get to ID number 6, which is Andre. And you see all of the colors appear as they are in column G. Now, I want to add a little spice to it. So if you are doing a VLOOKUP and a value that you are looking for isn't present, this is what you will get. And it's this £n/A. So this is something that basically tells you that what you're looking for isn't found. It's not in the data set. So what we can do here is there are a couple of cool additions you can add to the VLOOKUP that I normally like to do. And what I'm going to use now is the if error function. So at the beginning of, I'm clicking in the formula bar at the beginning of my VLOOKUP, and I'm typing if error, one word, open parentheses. I'm clicking at the end, I'm gonna hit comma. Now I'm gonna use quotation marks, name, not present. And then I'm gonna close the parenthesis marks. And instead of that £&A, we're gonna get name, not present. So we're gonna do some cool things that I wanna show you with just some of the functionality of Excel. So we all know that you can copy and paste formulas, and as long as you don't have any references, meaning the dollar signs, it will flow through the spreadsheet accordingly. So here I pasted the formula in row C11, well, row and column C on cell C11, and it says name not present. Now, what I'm going to use now is a little bit of the data validation functionality to give me some cool options. So if you go up to your ribbon and you go to your data menu, there is a data validations piece here. And what I wanted to do now is to look at my data um, and validate all of the options that I have to select. So instead of clicking any value whole number, which is all the options, I'm going to click list, and then it's going to bring me a few extra choices. Now I want the source to be all of the names here highlighted, and then I'm going to press enter. And then I'm going to hit OK. And now we have this cool drop down box in the corner of our cell. And here you can select names by clicking the arrow. Once I click it, we'll get there. And then I'm going to select Gary because I'm partial. And when I select it, the VLOOKUP will carry through and bring back the favorite color listed in column G. So here, using the data validation function, I created a dropdown of the value of the expected names, and then the VLOOKUP populates them accordingly. So everyone, this is the VLOOKUP in a very condensed way. There are many ways to use it. There are many ways to capitalize on it. This is just a small way to get you familiar with it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me at RiskInquiry at data-gration, GRATION.com, and we'll take any questions that you may have. As always, guys, from my mouth to God's ears, I'll see you at the top.